Wow, good morning. Oh, wow. Didn't realize so many people were coming through. Good morning, Barbara Stevens. Good morning, Amanda Coopin-Myers. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Good morning, Ducky. Good morning, Ann. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Melissa. Big yawn from Melissa. Good morning, Ann. Saying good morning to Ducky and Karen. How are you guys? I'm on early today because I have a house showing at 10:30. So normally I go on at 10 o'clock my time, but I didn't want to be like jumping off of here and having realtors showing up with guests, and I need to sort of be ready for them. So I'm on early this morning, an hour early, so that I can do this for a minute and not feel rushed, and then sort of do any last minute, things that I need to do so that I'm prepared for their arrival. Wish me luck or blessings or whatever it is that may need to be wished. They are coming to look at this house that I live in currently, and so I am hopeful. We'll see what happens. But how are you guys this morning? Yeah, Ducky says, good morning, Tia. How are you? Good morning, Kristen. Ducky says, big shout out to all you amazing subscribers. Thank you. You are all amazing. And I do seriously want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. We did make the goal. We came close in the day that I wanted to have it done, but it happened the very following day. And we've actually gone beyond 200. So that's incredible. I really appreciate all of you, both on YouTube and on Facebook. Those of you that have subscribed and helped me reach 200, it's amazing, and I feel blessed, and I don't know, it just gives me the hope that maybe this is, even though it's moving sort of slowly, it's moving in the right direction, and that's a good thing. I did do some research because I wanted to figure out, with charm readings, it's nice to have the chat box, but with OBS system, which I restream to, or the restream that I use, sometimes I'm missing chat stuff over cross platforms. So I was thinking about just solely platforming on YouTube because I prefer that platform. I think the screen is larger. There's a lot of different reasons. But what I found is that you need 1,000 subscribers before you can have access to live chat. So that's the reason why I couldn't broadcast the first charm divination live. I can do it through Restream, but then that means it includes Facebook and all of that. So I may miss some of your comments at this time, but as we continue to grow, hopefully when I get to 1,000, we will then be able to have YouTube chat, and that will be just another accomplishment. So we will continue to grow this group, and we will continue to stay connected. Thank you, Tia, for the good luck. Good morning, Irish in Cyprus. How are you? Rachel McIntyre, don't be crabby. You just had your birthday. Crabby, crabby, claw, claw, claw. Find some humor. Try and switch it. It's early enough in the day yet that you can still maybe try and find a way to shift the energy, okay? And it's okay if you're going to stay crabby. You have every right to be fully crabbed out in your crabbiness. I'm not judging you for it, but if you want to change it, now would be the time. It's still early yet. You can shift that, or you can have some humor and fun in your crabbiness. Be snarky. Snarky's always fun. That's sometimes when I'm in a bad mood and I just get a little snarky, and that sort of at least raises it a little bit, makes it feel a little bit better. Good morning, Nate. Hey, Abby Drum. Good morning, good morning. And you guys, if you're on Facebook and you haven't followed my YouTube channel, please do so. And vice versa. If you are following me on YouTube, please go use the Linktree link that I just put in there and try and follow my business page. I've noticed a lot of you guys are following my personal page because I post to the groups from my personal page. My personal page you can follow, and I don't mind. It's open and public. There's nothing there other than you like my personal stuff. But please also do follow the business page if you can, because I don't know at some point if I might, only broadcast from the business page and YouTube kind of thing. And I don't know. So I just don't want anybody missing postings and that sort of thing. So today I'm here. My name is Dan Geist. Good morning, Jessica Farley. And you all know who I am, but I am just repeating this for anybody that may be new because I did post to whatever groups it would allow me. I'm still in Facebook jail until the 15th. And I'll probably end up in Facebook jail again. This is the other reason why I want to move over to YouTube. It's just one platform would just be so much easier. And then I don't get in trouble with Facebook and limited. It's just so frustrating when you're trying to get your message out there and you don't understand why you're being held back. But you have to trust, right? You have to trust that there's a reason. So I find some humor in it that I'm a jailbird, but I am in jail for another 2 more days, and who knows, I might be back in jail by the 15th. We'll see what Facebook decides. But yeah, so there's that. Anyways, I'm Dan Geist. This is Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. Engelgeist is the name of my business. Engel is the German word for angel, and Geist is my last name, which is the German word for ghost or spirit. So I've blended the two, and it's like angel spirit to me. That's the name of my business. A little background on that, just so you guys can understand. And also I thought it was sort of cool because it sort of stands out. It's different. It might be hard for some people to remember at first, but so was Google back in the day. And when Yahoo came around, everybody was like, why would you name something Yahoo? And then it was like, huge. So mine is Engelgeist. I think it sticks out if you can remember it. And it also includes a little bit of me and a little bit of the angels. And, what's wrong with including the angels in our life? That's what we all need. So, hey, Liberty Bowie. Good morning. What a great name. Is that your real name? I love Liberty Bowie. That's a cool name. If that's your real name, you are way cooler than me. And if it's a name you've created, you're still really cool. Because I love David Bowie. So the Bowie thing and then Liberty is just a very cool concept of being liberated. It is your name? That's awesome. Yeri, you've got a cool name. You have cool parents. Are you related to David Bowie? Tell me you are. That would be so cool. Yeah, Kristen Ravello, Liberty, you can't see this. I have this broadcasting also over to Facebook. So Kristen is one of the Facebook watchers. She cross-watches via Facebook and YouTube. And she is saying Bowie is always 100% cool. So I believe that too. When I get my windfall of money, my business is going to be called Mine and My Own. Okay, Nate. You're welcome, Liberty Bowie. She doesn't think she's related to David, so we don't necessarily know that she's related to David. But anyways, we can pretend we have a relative of David Bowie in our midst. My bulldog is back to licking my calves, which is gross. Good morning, Jamie Taylor. I'm glad you made it. Hi, hope Shelby's doing well and doing better. I hope she's recovering. Let me know, or let us know in the group. Just give us a little brief synopsis, if you could. Post it in the group so that everybody knows, because I know that people are thinking about it, and we're hoping that her recovery is happening in a peaceful and productive way. Liberty Bowie's asked, can I ask, what did you want to ask, Liberty? I actually was just getting into my explanation. So this is the morning forecast. You can ask a quick question, yes, Liberty. If you give me a subscription and ring the bell on YouTube, my dear, if you haven't already. What does Michael have to catch up with me about over the phone? He's a Cancer and I'm a Virgo. weren't in a relationship. We just mess around. He's 56 and I'll be 22 on August 29th. Wow, Liberty, that's quite a bit of information. I don't necessarily know that I can answer that right now. I would answer that for you in a private reading, or in a reading like when I'm doing pop-ups where I do free cards for people. Just because I like your name, I'll pull a card for it. Give me one moment. Okay, Liberty? And then I have to get to the forecast, guys. The card you get is the Nine of Cups fulfillment. So I'm going to say this, Liberty. When you ask, what does Michael have to catch up with me about over the phone? He's a Cancer, I'm a Virgo. We weren't in a relationship. We just mess around. He's 56 and I'll be 22 on August 29th. The fulfillment card says to me it's the Nine of Cups. There's a lot of booze and there's a lot of like wine and cups and enjoyment. I think he enjoys his time with you. I think he wants to indulge with you, if that makes sense. It may just be a booty call, or he's trying to reconnect on a very sort of enjoyment sort of level, which makes me think possibly if you guys were just hookups or things were compatible between the two of you on a more physical level, that would be this card. It could be beneficial. It could be a fun time if not taken too seriously, but I don't necessarily know that this looks like this is serious. To me personally, I feel like this is more about him looking to reconnect, to re-enjoy whatever it was you guys shared and had together. I don't know if you guys used to party a little bit and have fun and just be loose and casual. That, to me, is what this card feels like. I don't necessarily think it's a bad card. I just don't think it's like some big commitment or anything like that, if that makes any sense at all. So if you're thinking that maybe he's coming back and he wants a relationship, I don't necessarily know that that's the case. It could lead to that, but it definitely says to me when I look at this card that there was an attraction between the two of you, or a connection between the two of you that was quite fulfilling, and I think that maybe possibly he wants to reconnect and rejoin that, bring that about. Does that make sense? So I'm going to leave that there and leave you with that. It's just a quick, brief look at stuff. So thank you for subscribing, Liberty. I really appreciate it. Needs to hook up and catch up is what Nate says. And exactly, that's kind of the truth. But you know what? If there's nothing going on in your life, there's, no shame in your game. Have a good time, 56 though, girl, you're 22. Get it. You better be getting some presents out of that. All right, so, and I have a feeling you might be. So anyways, let's get down to the forecast. So I do the forecast every morning. I come on every morning. You guys know this. Most of you know this, but I'll explain this just for Liberty and anybody who might be like stalking, watching, and like secretly watching and not wanting to speak up. I like to call myself your spiritual meteorologist. I pull one card for the day, 3 cards on Sunday, just predicting the energy of the week that we'll all be dealing with as a group, as a collective group. Not only just us that are watching, but those that may come across the video, not only now or later in the day, but also throughout the video's lifetime. Okay, because I've realized that there is a possibility somebody might see the video in a feed and it might make sense for them like 2 months from now. So that's my intention, is to be an open vessel and to be able to carry information from a space of spirit that allows people to get insight, validation, joy, maybe some entertainment, and some just awareness into how best to deal with the energies of the day or whatever they may be facing. Okay, so this may work for you, it may not. That's okay if it doesn't. Don't worry, you can tune in again tomorrow. You might be at a different, dealing with different energies, or you might need a different reader. There are many on Facebook and YouTube that are quite talented. I know of quite a few. If you feel you need a suggestion as to where to be sent, I can certainly suggest the people that I go to and I watch. They're great, and they're available around. They post regularly. But if you feel like you resonate here, please enjoy and stay. There is a little bit of a community. I'm going to post my link here. You can join the Facebook community. Hold on one second. I think somebody's at my gate. Hola, chicos. So you want to scroll up muy rápido. Arriba aquí y allá. Y yo rápido arriba. So it's okay. So just, gracias. Hey, everybody get inside, please. Come on, come on. Come on, no, come inside. Everybody, now, inside the house, please. I've got to go. You guys, come on. Gracias. Come on, chicos. Come on, andale. We're on video. Andale. Oh my gosh, you don't listen, you got to come in. Thank you. Slow bulldogs. Thank you. All right, so I forgot where I was, but sorry, he just showed up, my gardener guy that helps me like sort of clean up the area before showings, and I didn't know he was going to show this morning. Anyways, so I do this every day. I love it when you guys tune in. With the link that I just posted, you can also join the Facebook group. There's a great group of people, a small community of people that kind of all get to know each other and have become friends around this. So please feel free to join that if you would like, or like and follow my business page. Please like and follow the video on YouTube. You know the drill. So what we do in the mornings is we take a deep breath in through the nose, deep into the belly, and out through the mouth. Envisioning our pluses and minus signs, people. Plus signs going in, filling the body with positive energy. Minus signs going out, letting go of anything that's old, stale, doesn't work, isn't serving us, or is quite possibly crabby. For those of us with the last name of McIntyre, we're allowed to let that go. If we want to multitask, we can imagine a line of energy going from our first chakra, which is at the base of our spine, down into the center of the earth, and we can allow any energy that doesn't work for us or is outdated or not ours, doesn't belong to us, to go down that grounding cord too, and that's a way to ground. As we take these breaths in, we're going to take 3 breaths, one for the mind, one for the body, and one for the spirit, to honor all 3 components. And as we breathe those in, I want you guys to bring your attention to your body, and then ultimately up here to the center of your head, the area behind your eyes. This is the place where you want to go when you meditate. So this is just a very quick, easy practice to kind of get your attention from out there back here. Okay, so let's start now. Let's take one deep breath in and imagine those plus signs coming in. And release. Let those minus signs go and let all the air out. Second one for the mind. Let those plus signs spread out through the body and through your mind, even through your brain. See them in your brain, and release the minus signs when you exhale. Now your attention should be on your body at this point and in getting more into the present moment. Take one more deep breath for the spirit. And just let those plus signs flood your body wherever they want to go. Positive energy. And release that negative or minus signs out. And open your eyes when you're ready. Okay, simple visualization that does wonders. Okay, sometimes simplicity can be the best in a complicated universe. That's a good idea. I should write that down. Sometimes these things, I say these things and I don't even know where the hell they come from. I'm like, what the fuck said that? That's my language. All right, so now we've taken our breaths. We're welcoming ourselves into present time, which is August 13th, Tuesday, 2019. So I'm going to shuffle the cards and ask Spirit for a card that best represents the energy of the day for August 13th, Tuesday, 2019. Please, Spirit, issue us a card that shows us the energy or what we might be dealing with, facing, going through, experiencing, and how best to deal with that for our own highest good and the highest good of others during this time. Hey Pam Mattis, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Hey Rose, how are you? Good morning. Hey Jen Nichols, good morning. Sorry I'm on early, guys, but I got a showing of the house too. Oh, you like the waves? It's a Japanese painting called The Wave. It's a tapestry I got off of Amazon and I hung it on the wall. I love that painting. It's a famous Japanese painting called The Wave. Okay, Spirit. Talking about Tuesday, August 13th, 2019. Okay, so the cards feel good, guys. They don't feel too complicated. There's a little bit of resistance, but nothing like insurmountable. They're kind of coming together. The pace feels moderate. It doesn't feel like it's moving super fast. I would say it's moderate to fast. If anything, like some of you might be moving at a faster pace than nothing that you would like, but you might be getting like quite a bit done. But some of you might be just getting a normal amount done today. The energy might be moving like nicely, smoothly, it feels like, you know? Good morning, Linda Ferguson. How are you? Just shuffling the cards for today's card. You're welcome, Jen Nichols. We need to talk too. I know, I'm sorry, I've just been running around with all of this. Okay, thank you, Spirit. Let's look at what card we have for today. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to turn on the Buddha cam to remind us of the Buddha that is within us all. Say good morning, Buddha. And let's look at the card. We have another crystal card up today. This is the Man of Crystals, which is similar to like the King of Crystals or the King of Swords in most traditional tarot. Okay, so this is like the Man of Crystals is how it represents in this deck. So the card is called Inventor. Let me just write this down because I like to chronicle what comes up throughout the month and the week, just to kind of look at what we've been working on. And it's Inventor. And to me, yesterday we had that Five of Crystals negativity card where I was talking about how we needed to look through our thoughts. I feel like we're still working on our thought processes, guys. I feel like this is a little bit like we're more in control. Yesterday was the card negativity, where we might have been looking and catching negative thought or where things get in our way. This is a little bit more about being more in control of those sort of things and inventing ways out of from underneath our own thinking. When I look at this card, I see this face here. This face looks like Krabby McIntyre. That's not going to be your nickname, Rachel, I promise. But it looks like sometimes like we get worried, we get resentful, we get sort of buried under the thoughts and ideas of what we can do. I feel like there might be too many options on the table for people right now, and that might create a little bit of worry or angst for you guys, myself included. I can see where I fit into this card a little bit. I have a lot of different choices, a lot of different opportunities or potential opportunities. I'm not sure which one to take. What is the best route? So I feel like that might be going on in this card for some of you guys. The thing is that this is like similar to the King of Swords. So what I want to say is that we have the control and we have the power, we have the strength to make clear thought. We have to get ourselves out from underneath this jumble of almost having too much on our plate. Like, let's take things. What it makes me think of is that we want to address things one thing at a time today, and do like one thing, complete it, move to the next. One thing, complete it, move to the next, and sort of move some of this stuff off of our plate. I think that it's possible to do that. We are the inventor. We do have power because it is the Man of Crystals. It's not like it's a learning card. It's almost like he has knowledge of what he's doing to himself. He knows that he's sort of burying himself. He's kind of aware of it. And it may not be him burying himself so much as his environment might be. Like our job might be asking a lot of us at this time, or our relationships might be asking a lot of us at this time. But we need to be inventive and we need to find creative ways to make it work for us. The Man of Crystals is that inventor and does have that capacity. But we also have that capacity to get bogged down in our thoughts and take it to a negative direction or a negative place. And we don't necessarily want to do that. That might be why the negativity card showed up yesterday, to show us a little bit about where our thoughts slip into the negative place, because we might be risking a little bit more today because he's got so much more on his mind, because there might be so much more at play today. There might be bigger decisions being made for some of us today. There might be bigger choices and experiences that we're dealing with today. And so I would make sure that we are really clear on how it is we are looking at things, where we're holding things in our space mentally. How are we holding it? Is it from a place of negativity or frustration, resentment? And then if we are, which is okay, how do we shift that? How do we change that? And I say this at the end of every video. It's always like to go to gratitude, find the blessing, find the way out by finding the acceptance for whatever the current situation is as it is. Only then can you actually actively change it. Because in accepting it and allowing it to be and realizing that it is what it is and it's okay, you almost empower yourself to then deal with it from a place that's not based in fear, that's not based in regret, that's not based in shame, that's not based in anger or frustration, and you actually have a cleaner energy or a cleaner awareness, ability, mindset to move yourself through it. Does that make sense? And so this to me looks like we need to be inventive with our thoughts today. We need to sort of move some things off of our plate, quite possibly for some of us, and that's fine. This also says to me that there's a lot of us that are very capable people, capable thinkers, let's say. We think, I tend to maybe even overthink. We give more credence. This card makes me think that those of you out there might give a little bit more credence to your thoughts and your mind than to, say, the information of your body or your emotions or your spirit. And I have a pick a card on my YouTube about which is your dominant body, and your dominant body can change. So sometimes we're living more in our mind and our thoughts than, say, in our physical, or we're honoring our spiritual more than our mind and our emotions. So maybe your dominant body today is in the mental. Maybe you're stuck in your thoughts and you're like trying to find a way to figure out a lot of answers to a lot of problems that might be not bugging you or but worrying you, whatever. So that's okay, and we have the capacity to do that, but just be really mindful of where you're doing that from. Are you doing that from a place of resentment? Are you doing that from a place of resistance? Are you resisting what's going on around you? Because if you're resisting what's going on around you, then you're probably going to just experience more of it. Okay? You want to be careful with that. So I think that if you guys are facing some stuff, or you feel like you're overwhelmed or have a lot on your plate, I think it may feel that way, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the truth if you take it one thing at a time. Okay, because this is the Man of Crystals, or like the King of Swords, you have the ability to be decisive, be in control. The energy is present where you can invent your way out of whatever it is you think is overwhelming or you can't maybe deal with right now. And it's also it's a card on the flip side where if you do use that inventive energy and you do find that positive spin on things and you do find that blessing, you can get very creative and find yourself going, like, having inspired thought where you're like, wow, I just fucking found my way out of that shitty situation. And be really proud of yourself and sort of amazed, and start to give yourself that kind of credit and build yourself up. Now, what was the other thing I was going to say? There was something else that was in the back of my head. Damn it, did I forget it? Let me look at this card for a minute. That's it. The Three of Crystals is the creativity card for the midweek. We're not in the midweek just yet, but it is again another mind card. There's a lot of mind activity happening in the beginning of this week. We had negativity yesterday, which was the Five of Crystals. We have the Man of Crystals today, and tomorrow would be our midweek where it would start to kick in from Sunday, the card that I had on Sunday, which is that Three of Crystals, which is that creativity. And I said to you, if you go back and you watch Sunday's video, it's about raising up out of the detritus or out of like the jumbled stuff in our mind and getting to a clearer space and seeing the bigger picture. That's what's happening here. Sometimes it's that, like, similar to that phrase, it's the darkest point before the dawn. Do you know there's always the darkest point is before the dawn? So this, I'm not saying that this is a dark card or a bad card. This card is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to get creative, to take things one step at a time and solve them as we go. We have the ability and the smarts and the wherewithal to solve these things if we don't take them all in at once and go like, oh my God, help. Because then we get into the state of being crabby or pissed or resentful or overwhelmed, and then our energy gets wonky, and then we can't solve anything. So I think that the reason why this is up today is it's showing us we do have power, we do have the ability, we do have the creativity to be inventive, to solve our problems, so that by midweek when we get to that creativity card, we do find that creative thought. We are harnessing that, and we are looking at the bigger picture. We are seeing the horizon. We are getting beyond some of the things that were sort of maybe we viewed as standing in our way, maybe today or yesterday, right? Now, the other thing I was going to say too is this is about, like, when people come to me for readings, I always joke about how they come to me with the Holy Trinity when they want a tarot reading. They always want to know, like, oh, I need to know about love, health, and finance. Like 3 huge subjects in somebody's life. Or it can be, I need to know about my children, my money, and my boyfriend, or whatever. It's always like people want 3 things, and this is the problem with that. I'm going to say this. When we don't focus our energy on just one subject and address it, which is what I feel like this is about for us today, is about the idea of becoming aware that we are smart enough, we are capable enough, and we are aware enough to be creative and inventive in solving our problems without letting them overwhelm us. If we take them one step at a time and just really address one, when we give that attention, that energy, and that acceptance to just one aspect of our life, it sets off a chain reaction or a ripple effect into other areas of our life where those situations that were also overwhelming us or seeming bothersome become a little bit easier, because we become a little bit at ease because we've solved or become more comfortable with one aspect of our life. That's why I always keep my readings to one subject. And if you're dead set on multiple subjects, then I say do a general reading and we see what comes through. But that's what happens, because a healing does take place in that moment of the hour that we read together, because you are able to address one subject, give it the attention it deserves, bring yourself into a present time space of looking at it and owning it and accepting it. And once that energy starts to shift and you start to be like, oh, okay, that's why it is the way it is. Oh, okay, I'm okay with that. Oh, okay, I was already aware of that. You start to give yourself that credit and realize that you're actually more empowered than you thought prior to getting to me for the reading. Does that make sense? So, again, don't spread yourself too thin. Remember, you're like the King of Swords. You can cut right through this stuff mentally if you don't put too much on your plate at once. So let's keep that in mind today. I didn't feel like it's going to be a rough day from the shuffle. Like I said, it felt like it's going to move along. There might be a little bit of resistance for some of you, but I think today is a day to definitely look at our thoughts, look at what's on our docket or on our to-do list, and maybe tackle one thing, or tackle the thing that we feel is the most important. And then once we tackle that and we maybe find an answer to that, watch and see if the other things on that to-do list sort of shift. See if they become a little bit easier or a little bit more manageable, and then take the next thing and deal with that and find the answer. And you're going to see that you're actually, my hope is, and what I'm hearing is you're going to actually see from this card and from that behavior that you're far more in control than you guys are giving yourself credits for, or when you're caught up in this sort of overwhelmed state, you're unable to see it because you've got you've got too many plates up spinning in the air and you're too worried that one's going to fall. So that's my take on today's card. I am going to end with this because I always do. You know, it's all just energy, and energy is constantly changing. We have symbols and examples of that in all sorts of forms of nature, in the human body, in how we heal, how our body works perfectly with, you know, through science. I believe that energy and the creation of the universe is almost perfect in its chaoticness. Does that make sense? And perfect is a strange concept. I don't trust perfect all the time. I don't think it's something to aspire to. But I do think that in the chaos, there is like a sort of a divine plan. And if we trust in that and we believe in that, it happens for us. And so what I want to say is, if those of you that are suffering, it is all just energy. It is constantly evolving, constantly growing, and constantly changing. So whatever you may be suffering through or having a hard time with or feeling overwhelmed by or feeling like in this card a little bit upset or aggravated by, you can, if you find the blessing or the gratitude, or just shift your energy off of what's overwhelming you to something that feels controllable or possible, and fix that part. It takes a little bit off of that plate, and it shifts that energy, and your positioning to that will shift, right? The power that situation may have over you will shift, and you will see that you are actually the one that is consciously doing the behaviors that helps to shift your experience and how you inventively or invent your way out of these situations. Does that make sense? You're welcome, Lori Necht. You're welcome. So that is your card for today. Now, I have this house showing at 10:30. I do not know if I'm going to do a charming today. I may in a little bit. We will see. Keep an eye out for that. I do need to film this week's Pick a Card. I know what the subject's going to be, and I need to get around to doing it. Because I would like to get it uploaded and online by tomorrow, Wednesday. I'm going to try and do a pick a card every Wednesday. So if I do a charm reading today, then that will mean the pick a card will be shot tomorrow, and there will be no charm readings tomorrow. But we will see. Let me see how this house thing goes. I'll probably put up an announcement in the group if I decide to do a charming. If not, I will film the pick a card today to have it ready for tomorrow, and then once I upload it for tomorrow, maybe there'll be a charm video tomorrow. Those of you that haven't received a charm reading, you should check it out. Go check out the other ones on my YouTube channel. They are over there, and you can see kind of what they consist of. Those of you that have received charm readings, thank you for allowing me to do that. I'm glad that you've tuned in and subscribed and all of that. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, so have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Thank you, Amanda, for the good luck with my showing. I know we will see. We will see. All right, I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. All right, have a good day. Bye.